Welcome back to the Three Amibros podcast. If you watch anything about this podcast, you know that last week and this week are big statement games for this podcast. It's the first time in the 3 years we've done it that our teams have actually played each other. Both teams have played, well, not the Steelers Lions.
We played preseason.
Yeah, we played each other. Everyone's played each other this week. And unfortunately, the boys in black and gold couldn't get it done. So, Justin, you know that we've tried to make bets before. Nothing has ever gone through. So I made a bet with myself, and I got myself a little bit of a lighthearted, fun joke that'll turn into mush on November 1, okay? I got this to go into my room for the rest of October so that I have to know who lost. And then a baseball bat is going to go right here on November 1.
All month long, man.
I think that's actually kind of funny. Take a Sharpie to it. Take a Sharpie and write TJ Watt is overrated on it as well.
I'm going to actually drive by Chris's house, throw this at his head because I don't know which one's the pumpkin because they look the same.
Did you actually make that yourself or did you buy the pumpkin like that?
You think I made that? That's impressive. I bought
that was a really nice start.
You know what? Rosie could have done it for you. You could have easily been
That's
like,
true.
Rose, I have this bet myself. Can you do this for me? Because that sounds
for any of you out there saying that I don't follow through on my bets, there you know, look at me. Look at me.
He's following through on stuff he didn't even agree to.
Yep.
Not with anybody else except himself, right? I'm weak. No, that's awesome. I love it. Well, great.
Yep.
Talk about the game later for sure.
This is for you. And Christopher, if the Lions do fall, I'm going to also buy you one, and you will be putting this in your room as well. Or
okay, deal.
You might be handed off this one, you know?
Okay. I will accept that.
Okay.
It's going to get gross.
Yep. Well, and it's in a week. It's not going to be open. It'll be fine. But
Al's already not making his bet because he said I would do it.
He's already trying to get out of it.
I'll give it to you here.
Okay, well, welcome back, boys. Well, so wonderful to see you guys. Week 5 of the NFL season was so much fun. There's a lot of exciting games. There was games that had a lot on the stake, and people did not hold up to their end of the bargains, which I'm going to throw one of them out there, Cincinnati. Talk about them later. But we have a team on this podcast where 2 of us used to be aligned and we are no more. I am talking about the FRAUD Jets, the frauds. All right. The big topic is Mr. Saleh is out of the building. Walked in on a Tuesday morning, ready to go to work. Big manager said, and you're done. Boys, what do we think?
I really hope it went like that. That would be the best case scenario. I get it.
Have you not seen that? Literally, he walked in for work. And
they met him in his office.
Had already known. And he said, come to my office, and got fired.
Yeah. I to be honest, it's not fair to Robert Saleh. It's not. Like, he's the defensive-minded coach. The defense, the past few years since he's been there, including this year, has been a really good defense.
They've held it on the bargain.
Yeah. The whole point when they brought in Aaron Rodgers was they were a quarterback away from being a Super Bowl team. They were like the Tampa Bay Bucks when they got Tom Brady. They're like, hey, we feel like we're a quarterback away. And so this guy was supposed to come in and be that quarterback to take them all the way. And obviously last year he got 4 plays into it and then no more. So that's fine. But now this year they're 2-3 and they're an ugly 2-3. They're a boring 2-3. Their offense is stale. Like Aaron Rodgers, to be honest with you, I think he's fallen off the last few years, even when he was in Green Bay. But especially this year, it shows that he is just not the same guy. Yeah, that second MVP is a fraud as well. He didn't deserve it. But going on, we're not gonna rehash that again, Alex. I hate that you do that to me. You needle me with things that you know is gonna distract me from the road that I am on. Okay. So Rodgers is there to win a Super Bowl. The offense is the problem. Why are you getting rid of the defensive-minded head coach who's been good for you the past few years? And the owner claims that it was his decision and he consulted with the GM and that was it. Bullshit. We all know Rodgers was involved because it's very obvious the past couple years that relationship has gone south, especially this past offseason with his whole trip to Egypt during mandatory mining camp. Like, I think Rodgers was sick of him and wanted him gone. And so he pulled the ultimate, CEO card there as the true power of that team. And I don't like it.
Justin?
That's all I got.
Those are some strong words. Yeah. Wow, Chris, I think you couldn't have not said it any better. Truthfully, you kind of took the words right out of my mouth so poetically. But in a real sense, like I think this is he's just a scapegoat for what? Like I don't know. Like you just said, he's a defensive-minded coach. Their defense has always been solid. I mean, the week you lost against the Broncos, the score was 10-9. You lost against a team that's been beating everybody 23-17, and you literally had them in a chance to win. And you've won the 2 games before that. So, I mean, you just had a bad night on San Francisco, but the rest of it, I mean, like, I don't understand why. It's kind of it's sad, but you know what? Give him an opportunity to go somewhere else and be better because he is a good quarterback. Head coach. Aaron Rodgers, I'm sick of him. I used to be on the train. I used to like him because he was cool and all. I'm literally about to drop him on my fantasy leagues. No, I'm not, but he might do good now. I don't know. Who knows? But
no, he's not going to do good because
he hasn't done good.
Nathaniel Hackett is still there.
Yes.
Calling the plays, and he's still playing poorly. Like I don't get what this.
Well, this will be the funny part because this will be the true test of it. Like, is it him or was it this? Is it because he a bad game manager, or is it because of this? Like, I'm just really curious to see, and I don't understand then why it was it is it personality? Did you think he was on thin ice when start the year? Like, what did you think? Like, you guys are the ones that drafted Zach Wilson. He didn't do that. I don't know if he did it, but like the GM probably had a say in it. The other people had a say in it, and they took him, and then they regretted it. They did that with Sam Darnold too. So you're the guy who came in, brought you Aaron Rodgers, you're going to get rid of, and who's had a really good defense with you, you're going to get rid of for I don't know for what a 2-3 start. Or look back up, it's 2-3.
Yeah,
Zach Taylor's not fired yet.
Oh yeah,
dude, but you see what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm. Listen, we all know I'm a Rodgers stan. And is it him? Is it not him? We don't know. We're not in the back room. We're not in the office. We're not privy to that information. Okay. All we know is that the GM or the owner came out and said, I consulted the GM only.
You know what? When you say that, that means it's not true.
Well, okay. I also think that the owner probably was pissed that they went and lost to the guy who was seeing ghosts when he was playing quarterback for them. That happened. You know what I mean? Like you go.
That's a good point.
Like I forgot about that.
You go to London, and it's like, and what's kind of weird on this week too. Sure, the Broncos game was rough. It's like that's a game that you should have won. Bo Nix is on a hot streak though, so it's kind of like this weird thing. But then you go to a team that's arguably the best team in the NFC. Like you can't disprove what they've done over 5 weeks, and you were losing, and you kind of came back. You only lost by 7 points. It wasn't like a crazy, or 6 points. It wasn't like a crazy blowout, but they go and they come back and they fire Robert Saleh. I don't know what they hope to get out of this. I don't know what the urge right now is to get out of this. I think last season, if he went 1-16, I think it's like you still keep him because you putting in 3 or 4 different quarterbacks. But I don't know. I have no idea what the motive behind firing your head coach 5 weeks in.
That's what's so crazy is like last year when Rodgers went down, he actually managed to have a halfway decent season with Zach Wilson and White and everybody. So it's just kind of funny that now he's the reason why they're 2-3 when Aaron Rodgers is throwing picks every game.
You're not wrong. It does raise question that a veteran quarterback comes in not playing at the caliber as he should have been playing. He is coming off an Achilles injury, but it's hard to say that when Kirk, who you guys one of us hates on this podcast, I won't say who, hates on this podcast, who threw for 509 yards 3 days before. You know what I mean? It's like, it's hard to say, oh, he's coming back from injury when someone who had it later in the year is coming back and kind of lighting it up. And
I think this is enough of Aaron Rodgers and Saleh. What else we gonna talk about, right?
oh, he's done with it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Well,
Right when I'm trying to defend them, you want to move on to the next topic. I understand. I get it, man. I get it. When someone is opposing view of you, you just want to move on. That's perfectly fine with me. I guess we'll move on. We'll move on to.
it just felt like I'm sorry. If you would like to finish, that's my fault. I felt we're dragging it out at this point.
Oh, you know what, Alex? Why don't you move on to your favorite topic that anytime we talk about it on this show, it's your favorite.
This is my absolute favorite thing. Like, there's nothing that excites me more than when the Browns make a groundbreaking contract for 85 million or something like that to bring this.
I think 235.
I think it was 235 because I remember
They ate that though, dude. They did the Texans offer that and then he ate it. They ate it.
No. What happened was he wanted to trade from the Texans. A few teams were in the mix. The Falcons were in the mix. There was another team in the mix. Anyway, he basically told the Browns, you know what, I'm out. I'm narrowed it down to these teams. And the Browns had already shit the bed with Baker Mayfield and that relationship. So they had no choice but to get rid of Baker and go all in on Deshaun. And that's when they gave him a fully guaranteed contract.
Fully guaranteed for all of, I think, maybe 10 wins he's provided them over 3 seasons.
Maybe.
Himself. Maybe. Not the team. Now, Joe Flacco did his thing.
Right.
I'm not talking about when I'm talking about when Deshaun Watson was starting QB for this team. They might have, I don't know what the actual record. Can you look that up for us, McJamm?
I bet you he does not have double-digit wins for them.
And it's just amazing to see that they're still rocking with him. I don't know how this guy is not bad. This guy might be the worst quarterback in all of the NFL. And like, we talk trash about Zach Wilson. We talk trash about all these people. It's like, he could do way better than Deshaun Watson. He's 9-8.
Yeah, like, good call, Chris.
It's crazy to even think that like this guy got paid that much money for.
And those 9 games that he won, let's be honest, it was defense and run game that won those games. His best game happened this year a few weeks ago, and it was like a whatever game to most starting quarterbacks in this league.
So it looks like the what we've been saying all along on this podcast, maybe me, he is a shitty quarterback, he is a shitty person, and he should not be.
Maybe he's just tired from raping women.
Yeah, maybe.
No, to be honest with you, I think he needed that fucked up shit that he was doing in order to be good. Like, it was giving him some sort of superpower out in the field.
Kind of like a sociopath.
And now that he can't do it anymore, he's just trash. So we know if he ever gets better, watch out.
Watch out. Those masseuses out there are doing it.
Dude, he is by far he's so ugly. His droopy eye. I know you can't make fun of people like that, but dude, he just gets on that podium and I'm like, bro, you look like a turd. You know what I'm saying?
What I love about this is Justin will get so mad if we like overly shit on him, and then you just come in with like a dagger of a blow, like your droopy eye.
It's so bad. It's so obvious. And then he's like, and then at this point he's playing like shit. I used to like him because he played good. I mean, he was fun to watch at one point. I mean, he had the Chiefs run for their money, I believe. Now I'm like, dude, you are tragic.
I liked Deshaun Watson on the Texans. I was a fan. I was actually a fan of Deshaun Watson before all this stuff came out. When all that stuff came out, I was an anti-Deshaun Watson guy.
Yes.
I am still an anti-Deshaun Watson guy, and I think it's so funny that this team decided to pay him so much money to do nothing for them. And
I think it's funny that they're stuck. They can't do anything. And that's why he's still in. They still owe him way too much money to even bench him right now. let alone get rid of him.
What do you
Man,
do?
I think you just eat it for
Eat
the
it.
next. He has what, 2 more years on his contract?
You don't eat it
To
for
be
2
honest
years.
with you, well, to be honest with you, I think it's more like, no, you're right. I think it is 2 years. I think it goes through
Dan, let's get a
26.
fact check.
Yeah. When is McJamm?
But the problem is the only way to offset his cost for the next couple years is to extend him. That's the only way to alleviate his cap hit. You're not going to extend this guy, but you can't cut him.
2026.
Yeah, so through 2026. So they'd have to extend him into 27 in order to alleviate his cap hit. Like, it's just not happening. They're screwed.
I think I just eat it, dude, and let him go.
His cap hit, I believe, is 71 million the next 2 years, like each year, 71 million.
Yeah. Well, guess what? You fucked up. Go get a quarterback.
For-
Hopefully, go get a rookie. Go get a rookie.
You're going to be that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well just suck and go
Yeah.
in a rookie quarterback.
I think they start
But the
racking up
problem
some
about
freaking...
that is you have Myles Garrett. You have Nick Chubb. We'll see what kind of condition he
You
comes
do?
back in. But like, you have Myles Garrett. Like,
Trade Myles Garrett.
that's what you get rid of him.
Okay, well, no, what? I mean, you can, but like, what? Okay, if you know you're not going to win with Deshaun Watson and you want your star player to want to be with you, why the fuck are you going to keep playing him if he's not winning? And don't you think that guy's a winner? Don't you think he wants to win? If you go, oh yeah, you know what? It's going to cost a lot of money, but we messed up and we did this and we still want you around and we're going to do this for the next couple of years. You ain't going to be mad. That defense is still going to win them games. If Deshaun Watson can win them games, a new rookie quarterback can win them games. Hey,
Yeah,
for shit,
for
you
sure.
don't know what happens with Sam Darnold and the Vikings. I'd go trade for JJ McCarthy. At least it's somebody.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Also, I mean, yeah, there was a bunch of. I mean, like you could have had Mac Jones, better than Deshaun Watson. Like you could have had a quarterback that
Better human, maybe.
better than Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mac Jones is not the guy I'd be trading for if I were them.
No.
I mean, you got to do. They're the Browns, so I'm just trying to give them some really good trade options. I don't know. They just keep.
Kenny Pickett.
Bro, please, please, Russell Wilson.
There's no way the Steelers trade them a quarterback. They're not going to trade for one to begin with, but
you also have to like. I think honestly, then the team starts to go like, sure, he's losing now, but the team goes, we know what Deshaun Watson's capable of. Like, why are you not playing him?
Well, because we know what he's not capable of now.
I don't know, man. It's still that like, because who's their backup?
Skylar Thompson.
No, it's the Dolphins, dude. Wrong horrible backup team. Skylar Thompson. He's the backup for the Dolphins.
He is?
Yes.
No.
It's Jameis Winston, dude.
No, I'm sorry.
It's
Jameis Winston, but it's what's the I'm totally mixing up the name. Darius, yes.
Something like that.
Darius Thompson Robinson or something like that.
Yes.
DTR.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I can't remember his full name, but yeah, you're right.
Dorian Thompson Robinson.
Dorian Thompson Robinson. I don't know, boys. I think that the Browns are the shittiest team in the NFL, and
you want them to continue to do shit?
Always, man. I love when the Browns do bad. I love when the Browns do bad. I can't. It makes me excited. You know, the fact that they got absolutely blown out by the Commanders in a rookie quarterback who is having a season so far, who's fucking balling out, but you get blown out, and it's like. Your defense can't do anything right now. Your offense can't do anything right now. So I love it. Keep on doing your thing, the Browns. Don't change a damn thing the rest of the season.
I'm weak.
You know who else keeps blowing it? The Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen and Sean McDermott. Once again, coming up short in a big game.
On the fucking field this week.
Yeah, do you think he should have stayed in? Because he looked pretty knocked out.
You looked very knocked out.
And based on how he played that final drive, he did not know what was going on based on the throws he was trying to make. And the play calling that Sean McDermott did was criminal to try and win that game. Was it on offense or defense? It was on offense.
Well, he's a defensive guy, but
he's the shot caller. You know, he may not be picking those plays, but he's got final say. So when they're in a position where they need to run the ball to make the other team burn timeouts, and they're calling deep passes, he absolutely can shut that down and say, no, we're running the ball. And then Josh Allen, like, he literally was trying to make the most difficult throw on every single one of those plays.
That's Josh Allen.
That's Josh Allen. They don't play like they're serious about winning, because in those situations, that's dog shit.
I think he's serious. That's a very
no.
Your statement is criminal. You thought his play calling was criminal. You're a criminal.
No, because if you're playing to win, you're going to be smart.
Winning in your eyes is different than somebody else's. Just because your perspective is playing safe football to get down the field, this man was trying to he was trying to go for it. Like we need to win is I'm just going for it. I didn't say it's right, and I didn't say it's not winning, because Tom Brady's very methodical and Patrick Mahomes is very methodical and they win games. But that is maybe his mindset on winning. It's not right by any means, but he's looking
I'm just saying he's not going to win.
He's looking for the play, not the drive. Does that make sense?
Yeah, Chris got a taste of winning the last year, and so he knows exactly what winning.
He knows what winning tastes like.
I'm sorry. I've watched a lot of teams through my years of football win, and not one of them has been a team that makes decisions like the Bills, like Josh Allen. Tell me a team that would do that's won a chip in the last 15 years.
Green Bay with Brett Favre.
15?
Green Bay with Brett Favre has not won in the last 15 years.
Listen,
and I can tell you right now, Brett Favre only won one ring, just like Aaron.
I might say the first year that Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl, he was a little bit of a gunslinger, like.
Oh, his like craziness.
He has calmed down very much from his first 2-3 years in the NFL. He has gotten a lot better of a lot better of a game manager. But when he was out there in the beginning, in those first couple of years, Patrick Mahomes was a gunslinger.
Well, absolutely a gunslinger. But in situational football, is he doing that stupid shit? Is he being risky? Is Andy Reid?
I mean, he was being a little risky throwing footballs with his left hands and shit in people's eyes.
He was being a little bit
again, though, the situation is it right at the end to go into
it was right at the end.
We're only talking about that. We're only talking about this because Patrick Mahomes has won those games and Josh Allen hasn't. That is the only reason that we're talking about. If Josh Allen makes those throws, sure, it's risky, but it's good football.
Okay. Again, did you guys watch the end of that game? Do you know the situation I'm talking about?
He probably made some dumb calls. 100.
Okay, so no, let me describe it to you. They're at the ass end of their own touchdown, their own end zone. Okay. They need
exactly what you're talking about.
The other team has 3 timeouts still.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
They need to burn those timeouts, burn the clock, and he's throwing Hail Marys down the field, first down, second down, third down, and then on fourth down, the punter barely has enough room to punt. You're telling me Patrick Mahomes in his first year is doing that stupid shit?
No, that is a play calling.
No.
I do remember. Okay, I do remember. Well, actually, going. What the fuck?
He's so red. Look at him.
I don't know if it's okay. It's a little bit of Josh Allen. It's a little bit of Sean McDermott. I don't like that you slander all these damn quarterbacks all the time. It doesn't make me happy. Doesn't make me leap with joy that you're like, these fucking quarterbacks don't know how to throw football.
I didn't say they don't know how to throw football. I'm saying he did not play intelligent game-winning football.
Okay. 100%. But if you run the ball, you call their timeouts, you still punt the ball. You maybe even if you go 3 and out, you give him a little bit more room. You're still in a very similar scenario. He's going out. Hold on. He's going out there to win the football. Sure, you're on like the fucking 4-yard line they were on, right?
When you're done.
4-yard line. You're gonna go out there and he's trying to win the game. I don't know why you're saying
Alex.
Wait. Well, this is like Robert Saleh and the Jets. Move the fuck on.
No.
Wait,
this is
you have one
important
thing to
right
say. You
now.
got like 30 seconds. I'm watching.
Okay, Alex, all they need to do is burn their timeouts and get a first down. So guess what? First down, you run the ball. If you get stuffed, oh well, you burn a timeout. Best case scenario, you get a first down. Probably not likely, but maybe you get set up to a 2nd and 5, a 2nd and 3. Now you can make a short little throw, get that first down. Next thing you know, you're in control, and then the game's going into overtime. Instead, you throw Hail Mary after Hail Mary and give the ball back to them in great field position.
Time.
Agree to disagree.
Time. We understood. I like the play call, and I know it, Coach.
You like the play calling?
Yeah.
No,
I like your play. I like your play calling. Stop. Whoa.
Let's talk about.
If you were dynasty coach, I'd be happy.
This is who I want to. This is who I want. Now that you're on this tangent, this is who I really want to talk about play calling. Kyle Shanahan cannot get it done against the.
Oh, you were just asking for another quarterback slander. He literally is about to go on another rant. Look at him.
He left.
Walk
he
away.
Left. He had to stand up and go away.
Guarantee. I already know he's going to hit on.
I had to shut the door because I got in trouble for yelling. So I'm going to be a little bit more quiet. No, I do think that Brock Purdy didn't look great in that game, but I've been saying this entire time that I think Brock Purdy's
what quarterbacks do you like?
Oh my god!
I like a lot of quarterbacks.
Okay.
Not on this podcast.
Okay. This guy is without his number one receiver. He's without his number one running back, who's arguably one of the best in the league. He only loses the game by a point to a divisional game. And you're saying this dude's a bum?
I didn't.
You're
rewind the tape. When did I say he was a bum?
Okay. I will go exactly to this.
He's not without his number one. He's not without his number one.
You say call him a fraud for sure.
His number one is injured. His number one is injured-ish. He played.
He said, I gotta find it.
But he's playing.
You guys are.
You have not.
He said, I've always.
You have not had the kindest of words. You haven't had the kind.
You quote unquote said this. You said Purdy's a bum. Let's go Cardinals.
First of all,
Jake said, "Let's go." I said, "Isn't that a little bit overreaction?" You go. I've been in the camp that Purdy is a product of his surroundings. Drop him on any other team, and he isn't anything like he is for the Niners. Quote.
Okay. But I said, when did I say he was a bum on this podcast? No, you're pulling out a group chat, not the podcast.
Yes,
I never called him a bum on the podcast.
Podcast group chat. Do you want to see the picture and
that's
the name?
A private
it's
group
even
chat.
an LLC. Look at that.
That's a private group chat.
It is a
so it does not count. You're that's inadmissible. Sorry, you can't bring it to court. Bye. I didn't call him a bum on this podcast. And you guys proved my point, though. You proved my point because I said he is a product of his situation, and I said he didn't play well, and you said, "Oh, well, he's missing all of his situations. Therefore, you're telling me that he's a product of his situation."
If he would have gotten crushed by the Cardinals, I would understand. But they lost by a point. And
what was the final play?
It was an interception for sure.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, okay. Well, people could have done that all the time. Dak could have done that against the Steelers.
And Dak does that all the time.
What would happen if the Lions lost to the?
He's barely lost.
The Lions lost to the Bears by 1 point, and Jared Goff threw an interception at the very end to seal the game. What would you say about Jared Goff?
Jared Goff is a bum.
Man, you win some, you lose some.
Jared Goff is a bum. I knew we should have paid his ass. That's what
we shouldn't have paid him anything.
Oh my gosh.
You have the most skewed view on quarterbacks in this NFL. Okay.
Sorry that I hold a high standard to the position.
The highest of standards that you love Jared Goff is the craziest thing. What's
so funny is you hold such a high standard to the QB position, but where they're getting fucked up is in the college football programs, not setting them up to be a good college or good pro athlete to make those decisions. And you are all about football.
I agree.
And you're saying the product of this.
It's a different game.
Has the product of QBs gone downhill in reading defenses and being able to manage games and being able to not do like quick no huddle offenses? Yes. There is an art to being able to do that. That's why there's only one Tom Brady. That's why there's never been another quarterback that's won as many Super Bowls as him. It is a very hard thing to do in the NFL. There's only so many teams that are going to win a Super Bowl in the entire fucking thing in the NFL. There's teams that haven't won a Super Bowl in the NFL. You should know.
Yeah, I do know.
And so it's not the quarterback play is going to be what it's going to be, but you have to be able to adapt the system around them, which is what Kyle Shanahan has done a really good job. And you're saying that it's only a product of his system. Fucking everybody said Justin Fields was a fucking bum in Chicago. Comes here for 5 games, plays pretty well.
Are you going to act like he's an MVP right now?
I'm not acting. Okay, fine. Let's do it. Then. Let's go to Sam.
I'm just wondering.
Sam Darnold at the Jets looks like a bum. Goes to the Vikings and in 5 could be an MVP candidate.
No, he went to the Panthers.
Alex
started.
I have one of the best examples.
Fell off.
Best example.
Then went to the Niners. Then went to the Vikings.
Okay, Matthew Stafford, is he a great quarterback?
Yes, Hall of
He's
Famer.
A product of his surroundings.
No.
Okay,
he elevates people,
and they're 1-4 for the season. Yeah. Where Purdy has the same missing people. Actually, the difference is too. They actually have the Rams have a running back. The Rams are 1-4. The 49ers are 2-3.
You're saying Jordan Mason hasn't been a good running back for the 49ers?
He is no Christian McCaffrey. Kyron Williams,
of course, but he's a unicorn.
Way better than Jason Mason. But okay, he's better than Mason.
What? I'm saying Christian McCaffrey is
and Matthew Stafford has a 1-4 record. He's not he's stepping up and elevating, but he can't win games.
But you're pointing to just this season
because he lost the game, and he's 2-3, so he's 1 game better, and he has the same missing pieces. But you just
if we're only going to look at this season in a vacuum and ignore history, that's fine. We can do that.
Purdy is the same thing, though. Purdy has literally lost maybe. Jam, fact check me. I would think he's lost less than 8 games in his entire season, entire year ever playing his career.
Tell me a guy that he's elevated that isn't a star that he brought up.
Brandon Ayuk was nothing before Purdy got there.
Again, 1 good year.
Get him.
He had he missed training camp, and then he had an amazing game last week. He is coming back. He missed training camp.
As someone who has him in fantasy in multiple leagues, I can tell you right now, Brandon Ayuk ain't a 1. He ain't a star.
He literally had like 8 receptions for 100 and fucking something yards last week.
Brock Purdy's only played in the league like 2-3 years.
Yeah, he missed all of training camp. This is what happens when you do a holdout. Everyone knew he was going to come back and not have a great season. Brock Purdy,
put Purdy on the Cardinals. Are the Cardinals any better? Are the Cardinals better right now with Purdy?
22-7 in his career.
Okay, that's great.
And you're saying he's a bum?
What you're saying is the 49ers are 22-7 in his career.
Oh my God.
Okay. He's literally He's played in 3 seasons. He played in 9 games the first season. He played in 16 games the second season, and in 5 games this season. And you're asking who he's been able to elevate. What the fuck has he had the opportunity to elevate? Dude. He's had 1 full season under his belt. But Christopher, you normally I side with you. I normally like some of the things that you say, but
elite receivers, elite running back. Come on, let's go through it. Are the Cardinals better with Purdy over Kyler? Yes or no? Are the Rams better with Purdy over Matthew Stafford? Yes or no?
Maybe.
Are the Seahawks better? Yes or no?
The Seahawks definitely would be better with Purdy for sure.
Okay, fine. I won't argue on the Seahawks. Fine. Let's keep going. Is Dallas better?
Okay, Giants, yes.
Is Houston better?
Steelers, I even think he'd be a better Steeler. Houston? No, because he's CJ Stroud. But I don't know. Like, those are different things. Like,
are the Chiefs better?
Okay, don't fucking bring the Chiefs into this.
Okay.
I'm going through all of them.
Because yes, he would be good if he went into the Texans, he would be as good as the CJ Stroud. I think he would be able to do not maybe the exact same thing, but he would be able to do the same thing because they are also fucking loaded. And CJ Stroud, I mean, had one touchdown the entire game. But like, I think I get what you're saying, but I think there'd be teams that he would fit into well. Like, I don't think Kyler, no, like in the Cardinals, no, but like the Cardinals aren't even good and they don't have people around them, period. And it's not that I don't care for Kyler.
So that's what I'm saying, though. That's
But
what
like,
I'm
if you
saying.
went to the
like,
text, I get what you're saying with plug and chug, but like, they're doing the same.
Aren't teams also drafting QBs that only fit their system? Why would you not draft a
you would
QB
think.
that wouldn't fit their system?
But let's
Tom
be
Brady
honest.
didn't do it
Let's be honest.
alone.
Most quarterbacks these days are they share very similar. Like, it's rare for a quarterback to come out of college that can't move around, you know. And you're right. Tom Brady didn't do it alone. But guess what? He didn't always do it with mega Hall of Famers, with superstars. He elevated guys. There's guys that you would have never heard of if they didn't go and play with Tom Brady. Amendola, Edelman, Welker, like, just to name a small
But
few.
it's only been a season and a half where he really has been the head guy. You're giving him no opportunity. You're doing what these first round draft picks get the pressure of being. If you don't produce in 2 seasons, you're fucked, you're a bum, you're a loser, you're this, you're that. That's almost essentially, it's not what you're doing, but it sounds like what you're doing because it's only been a season and a half. Yeah.
I'll end it this way then.
Okay.
I would love to see, well, on my end, you can.
No, you're good. You're good. I get it.
I'm going to end it for me right here. I hope the 49ers pay the shit out of Brock Purdy this offseason. I want to see 60 more than 60 a year. And I want to see them lose Debo because they won't be able to afford Ayuk and Debo. They'll probably lose Kittle, maybe. Like, I want to see them lose pieces because they had to pay Brock Purdy a ton of money. And then I want to see what Brock Purdy looks like.
Yeah, but I think Brock Purdy is cut from the same cloth of Tom Brady, not as a player, but as a team-friendly deal guy.
We'll find out.
I think he's going to take a team-friendly deal to keep those players surrounded him because he knows that a little part of his success is having such great players around him. There's a part of his success. No one can argue that having great players around him makes you successful. That's just what everyone tries to do, right? Everyone tries to put your puzzle pieces together. Everyone tries to do that. I'm almost positive that they've drafted, besides CMC, they've drafted all those players.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so
the GM's been great.
The GM, who is it? It's the guy who used to play.
But that's what player. All right.
Yeah.
Again, it's John Lynch. But
thank you.
That thinks like it's the same. We can definitely end this conversation, Chris, and I'll say nothing. But it feels like it's still the same situation because it is in the sense like Amendola isn't just great because like he is great because of Tom Brady. Like that helps the situation. But it's putting the right player into the right system, almost in the same sense of what you're saying with this quarterback. And it was a draft. Like you could have what if they would have gotten a different guy and he would have maybe been just as good, if not better. But it's like you can't really determine that.
I'm not going to say this about the players that you named, but all of the players are the same prototype of a player. They're all the same player, just different people.
That's what I'm saying. Most quarterbacks these days are rare to only have.
You were like, oh, these three people that Tom Brady made. Yes, there's more people that Tom Brady made a player, but the three.
I named 3 slot receivers, but it goes beyond that. It goes beyond that.
I understand. It's all about being a great leader and great things. And I think Jay's right. You can't really prove what Purdy has done. His record is what his record is. His team is where his team has been, partly and to do because everything is wins and losses on quarterbacks. So you can say that like, oh, Purdy is Purdy isn't the reason that they're winning, but a product of the wins and losses falls on the quarterback. Doesn't fall on.
Before you walk,
just remember, Garoppolo also took them to the Super Bowl. Just so you know,
20-4 before walking into this season, and he sits at 22-7 in the season so far. I think time will tell, and this is the Brock Purdy saga, and this will be our new Kirk Cousins, Deshaun Watson. It sounds like, yeah. Chris is just gonna lean into it and hate him, and then we'll roll with it.
Well, let's talk about a team.
I don't hate him.
Let's talk about a team that has been the next victim of, I don't know what they're coining it, the lion curse, the lion fumble, the lion hangover.
We should just ask our resident
or a resident Lion fan. What are they calling it?
I like the term, and I've seen it the most, the Lion hangover.
Yeah.
Which basically, what's that?
The Seahawks go in and lose at home to the
Very
G-Men.
shocking.
Yeah.
And you know who looked good in that game? Danny Dimes.
My God, Danny Dimes.
See, I'm not always a quarterback hater, guys. Danny Dimes.
You talk so much shit about Danny Dimes. This is the one
you have.
Me.
Yeah. You
I've
normally hate on Danny
Dimes
Dimes.
fan. I have been the biggest Danny Dimes fan.
You also gave the Steelers a losing record before this year, so I don't even know what you're talking about.
No, I did not.
Yeah, you did. You said they were going like 8-9.
No, I did not. Ah, damn. Maybe I did.
No, that was me.
I was like, no, I did not. I think I went 10-7 and like 13, 12 and fucking no. Roll tape back. Roll.
Okay, well, Alex, this is after the podcast kind of thing. But Danny Dimes, I'm a Danny Dimes hater. Alex is definitely not a Danny Dimes hater. He used to love Danny Dimes, and it would piss me off. I'm the Danny Dimes hater. But I'm also a Cowboys fan, so it comes with
it makes sense. Danny Dimes is a roller coaster. When you're down bad with Danny Dimes, you're right there at the bottom. You can't go any lower. But when he's riding high, he's a fun ride. You know, like when he takes off. Well, whoa, weird.
Whoa,
that's hot.
When he takes off, like the dude like turns into a battering ram. He doesn't want to go down, which isn't always smart. Not an intelligent move to stay healthy, but it's fun football to watch. That's for sure. Both quarterbacks played lights out. I can't believe the Seahawks choked.
That, and then what is this Lions hangover? We did not clarify for our fans.
So basically, the Lions hangover is just that any team that plays the Lions, win or lose against the Lions, the next week they have a loss, and usually a rough one at that.
Is this under MCDC?
Oh, absolutely.
He literally
not playing like MCDC.
Freaking kneecaps. They ate those kneecaps.
They ate their kneecaps. I think it's I think the what's shocking to me is that now the Giants are not really like that great of a team, but the fact that they're like still in like conversation to like still be a part of even the records that could help them get to the division in that division is crazy to me. The fact that they're 2-3 going 5 weeks in is kind of crazy to me.
It's kind of crazy.
How bad they're kind of like how bad everything was in the off season, and everyone saw how their GM handled things and how they kind of did stuff. It's interesting to see that they're actually that good, or they're actually winning games. But I think, boys, it's time for the first edition ever. I'm throwing this out to the boys, and they don't know what I'm about to say. Okay, the first ever edition of the Cowboy Steel Mill Corner, a combo,
a joint venture,
to talk about the game that was, the game that got delayed, the game that went down to the final, what? I think it was like 9 seconds or something like that.
It was. Yep.
Was not a very pretty game, but a very fun game to watch up until the last 14 seconds if you were one fan base. And we're talking about the Cowboys and the Steelers. Jay, do you want to start it off or do you want me to?
Oh, dude. You know what? I want to hear your perspective because I have mine and I think you have yours.
Okay.
Yes. You do what?
This was a hard game to watch. Okay. I'm gonna be
It
honest.
Was a relatively fun game.
You thought it was a fun game?
It was. Oh, okay, so you're taking a minute, so I'm jumping in now. But
I'm just trying to wrap my head around what I want to say about this before.
Yeah. So when I start this, everything was not going in anybody's favor. Already to begin with, we had a rain delay for almost an hour, which is crazy. I think that was a big start to the game. So you rain delay. Then on top of it, you get out there, and it was kind of like it wasn't nothing exciting. Let's just be honest, right? It wasn't like it was the best game. Both teams played lights out, between weather, between the late night. Because, dude, by the time they finished the game, it was 1 a.m. Eastern time. That's crazy. So just to hear the fact of all of that and know it, I think the outcome is the outcome, and we just got the better end of the deal. And what we got. I didn't say we get lucky because we won that game, but it was not pretty. But in a situation where this is where Chris is going to be like, I fucking told you, because Dak Prescott does not have any good really running backs, and Rico Dowd finally stepped up. I thought that was great. And all we have is CD right now. We have some backups that are playing pretty decent. Like Turpin had a really good game.
Yeah.
And then Jalen Tolbert got that game-winning touchdown. That was slick too. But some pieces started to finally roll with us, which I think is what we needed, because you guys are a tough team to beat. But when we ran the ball like old school Cowboy football, we looked pretty good. And it took a lot of pressure off of Dak and made him do a lot of different things. So I really enjoyed that part of the game.
What I'll say about that too is it pissed me off that I don't understand what they were doing, because our whole team, offense or defense, is known for front seven not letting you run the ball. And when I saw these two no names running the ball all over us, I was like, what is going on, boys? Like, what are we doing? Have you just, and I think a product of it was our offense didn't really do much in the first half. And so the boys probably were tired going into halftime. And then it's getting late. They're probably getting tired still, because that second half, it felt like you guys were just running down our throat. We could do nothing to stop the run. You would get 5 to 7 yards every single run. It just felt like there was no stopping you. And we got a little bit of momentum. What's so funny is, you know what kind of gave us our momentum?
What?
Kyle Allen stepping in and making that pass. Kind of just like,
yeah, I kind of did.
Like, livened what
he got lit up that play, by the way. Justin Fields. That was,
yeah, he got. I'm shocked that they were like, oh, we're gonna play on, and they're like, no, we're not gonna play. Okay, you gotta go away. And then Kyle Allen comes in, makes a great throw to Muth, and then Justin Fields comes right back in, continues it. I was like, okay, we've got something going. And then Cowboys got the ball with what? How much time do they have left on the clock?
At the very end?
Yeah.
like a minute something, minute 20.
There was not much time left on the clock.
It was going to be, it was like make it or break it.
And I just didn't understand. It's kind of like when you watch the Chiefs with like a 2-minute drill, and it's like, why do you leave Kelsey open? It kind of felt that with Turpin. It's like, why do you keep leaving this fucking guy open in the middle of the field? Like, he's like wide open 22 yards. And you're like, there's enough time on the clock that okay. So
actually, it was a little bit more. I think it was 4 minutes and 56 seconds is what we had.
It still felt like,
no, they bled the clock.
Yeah, it felt like, and that, I think, okay, that's okay. Yeah, this goes. It felt like they just kept running the ball on that fucking drive.
Yes.
What are we doing, boys? We had a chance to stop you on third down, couldn't get it done. Like, there was multiple times where it was like, oh, we can get it done. No, and then we go down to the goal line, and they stopped them on the half-yard line. I want to say Dak got stopped on the half-yard line, right? Go in, they hand the ball off, they fumble the ball. I was telling Chris today, like, I don't remember who it was. It might have been Casey, it might have been Elliott. It's one of our safeties, one of our maybe our corners, but Dak went down to get the ball, and it almost felt like he was like, it's a quarterback, I can't fully get down for that ball. It's just what it felt like to me. It was like, it was almost like he took a hesitation of like, oh no, quarterbacks are so protected, like I can't fight for this ball, right? And it was like, because he got down there, and I was like, oh. And I was like, this sucks. And I don't know, Justin, if you saw that play was when
that was wild. When Rico fumbled on that like 1 yard line, I said,
jumped like 5 yards into the end zone and jumped over a pile and somehow made the trajectory to hit the ball with his helmet. That was a crazy play. And then I was like, we're fourth down. We are
won this. Yeah, I was worried.
Stopping them. He runs that damn little a crossing pattern.
Dude, it was a long play. It was so long and developed. And he literally just it wasn't even honestly, dude. It was just in the perfect window at the perfect space because anywhere else that ball would have been, I think
this is where
reflected game over.
Good for Dak for recognizing they were in man. Elliott had to follow him all the way from fucking one side of the field. Literally, I think he caught it on the pylon. Like he caught it like
he caught it very close.
Like it was like he had to follow him across the field and just had to go around some people. Honestly, great play call by there. Whoever called their plays, great play call at the very end there to like our man-to-man run across the field, have to like defend. And he's still, if that ball is a half second behind him, even a little bit in front of him, he doesn't get that. Like he still almost punched it out. I thought he was going to get it. I thought he was going to punch it out. I think it was Elliott. I thought Elliott was going to get there, rip it out. But man, Torbert's hands are fucking strong right there.
It was.
That's Big Mike making that play call.
Big Mike.
Honestly, that was
everything was smooth. You guys should have had him in the backfield. That was your defensive line not penetrating.
That was, I think what that was is he's not wrong. I think what that was rough outing for the offense in the first half.
Yeah.
The delay in it being 1 a.m. Eastern, like that defense was probably so tired that like the only time that you need to muster up anything would have been that play. And maybe if Elliott's a half step faster, they don't catch the ball, right? It almost looks like it was like that defense had just been run down the whole game. They were getting ran fucking down the throat the whole game. And they did their job. And the Cowboys did their job. Like they did exactly what they needed to do to that defense to make sure that we wouldn't win the game.
It's a good game though overall. I mean, obviously I felt like I felt like all the way to the end I was waiting. And I think it still was fun. It was still a good game, from both ends. It was exciting to the last minute. And I think that's all you could have asked for, was it to be exciting like that.
Could have asked for one more thing, but we didn't get it.
A win.
And
I just had my two memorable moments from this game.
Which is?
Number one, the rain delay. The dude sitting out in the stands during the rain, drinking the beer under the poncho.
That was funny, bro.
That was hilarious. All by himself or with a buddy, just them two out in the stands. The other memorable moment is, do you guys see that George Pickens flag?
Very last play?
Dude, I was waiting for someone to say this because I
told that was ugly.
George Pickens is
He's not likable.
No.
Yeah, he's not likable.
I'm cool. Guy's not my favorite. I'm chilling without him.
What do we keep doing to get these drops?
You keep getting attitude issues.
Fucking attitude. And only in one position. Only one position.
It's almost like when Mike Tomlin and the crew at Pittsburgh does the pre-draft meetings, they like meet with the guy and then he leaves the room and they're like, "Did you see that guy's attitude?
Yeah, we love
He's
that.
Perfect for this."
Dude, it's like it just keeps happening. I hope they get Tay Adams. It'll fit the fucking bill.
I don't think you'll get him at this point, bro.
I think the Jets are more likely to get him.
I understand the Jets are more likely. I'm just saying I hope we get him. We missed that on Ayuk. Did you hear that? Like recently? That
no.
Ayuk was on the plane to quote unquote, like the deal was basically done. And in like the last fucking 5 minutes, the GM said, "Let's keep you here. Let's do this."
The rumor is that Kyle Shanahan ran to his office when he heard to make him stop it.
Yep. And that's basically, it was like,
stop it.
Shanahan's like, "I need this guy so I can choke again."
Dude, but I think overall it gave us exactly what the Steelers Cowboys rivalry is, and then it's they're hard fought games. Like I'm shocked by your defense. By that point,
I'm shocked too, bro.
Your defense kind of stood on their head for not having their basically stars.
Their leader, yeah. Odigizua, I love that dude. Dude's a beast, man. He did good.
Well, I don't.
He's the one that killed him. But yeah, George Pickens, a little bitch. Jordan Lewis, our third string corner, locked you up all night, boy. Come get some, dog.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Michigan man.
That's on, of course. That's on Pickens for not getting open. That's on him for not running routes better, being a better
That's on him.
receiver. That's on him. That is 100% on him. You can only do so much as a quarterback to throw someone open to get them the ball, right?
Oh, yeah.
Once again, I know you guys love to hear me say this, but the bright spot of this whole game was Muth. That man is a beast. He just can't be stopped.
You said Muth?
If you want him,
Briar Muth.
If you want him,
Oh.
let's make a deal in Dynasty.
Maybe. Well, yeah, because I have fucking Mark Andrews.
Whoa. This is a podcast episode, not a fantasy trade experience. Okay.
Okay.
So why don't we knock it off?
Stay on this collab.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you have to say on this collab, Jay?
Oh, me? No.
Any other
I
questions?
honestly, Alex, great game.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah,
I
that
thought
was an
fantastic.
awesome game.
I honestly, you made me nervous to the end. When I think about though a Cowboys Steelers classic football game, that was 100% it.
Low scoring ish.
Well, a little boring, but still really exciting because at the end of the day, it was hard nosed, hard coaching, and my man Mike got a win in his hometown.
Yeah, he did. Good for him. Good for him.
I hope he gets
Well, I
fired.
think it's time to close the chapter on that. I think it's time to open up our menus and take us to. Did anything happen in the bye week of
Oh,
Kneecap Diner?
absolutely. We didn't lose, but we didn't win.
No.
So a pretty normal bye week. Nothing exciting move wise or anything. Maybe we'll get something closer to the trade deadline, but I think the guys just prepared for Dallas next week. I don't know how I feel about this bye week. It was too early for my taste, for my liking. I would have liked a few more weeks, maybe 2 to 3, and then the bye week, but because this is the earliest you could have had. So kind of sucks, but hopefully the guys rested up and are ready because this is a big game. This is a revenge game.
Revenge
So that's
game.
all this week was just getting ready for the Dallas Cowboy game.
Watching the game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's time, and I think it's only fair after a big win. We don't always do this, but we throw it over to the bird's nest. McJamm, how are you feeling after a 1-point win over your divisional rivals?
And especially, let's hear about just how much better you think Kyler Murray is over Brock Purdy. Thank you.
Kyler is 500 times better than Brock Purdy. I think if you put Brock Purdy on the Cardinals, they'd just be a lot worse. But yeah, great win. I thought the Bird's Nest played great, and yeah, I'm super excited.
And Jim,
Yep, just like he does
right
it
to the point.
Short and sweet. Well, boys, do we have anything else to talk about NFL related?
No.
No.
Not
Well,
really. Just shout out to the Cardinals because that was an exciting game.
Ooh, I do have one thing. Is Kirk Cousin the master of the comeback win? Because
Kind of.
he's done this a couple weeks in a row, and he did this all the time in Minnesota.
Kind
This
of.
is his
And-
style of
and when
game.
he was-
If
and
it's
when he
close
was
to the
top-
end of the game, Kirk Cousins in, I'm a little worried. Just saying.
I loved when Drake London was running down the tubble and he said, "I feel like Kirko changed." That was so funny. That shit was so funny running down the tunnel. You like that?
That's cool.
Yeah, that was cool. I'm
That
not
was a
saying he's
really
not
good game.
great in the 2-minute warning, but to say he's the king of comebacks, get out of here.
Alex,
Tom Brady,
I think we
Patrick
need-
Mahomes.
you'll love this. Ready? So I had a bet. I did a bet. I did a parlay on the Buccaneers and the Atlanta game. I have everything already. It was like the over under. I put the over. It was for, I forgot the other thing I did on it, but it was Mike Evans or something for a touchdown, whatever. I got that. And all I needed to do was the Buccaneers to win. They were winning 27-7 at halftime. I could have cashed out with $27. Chilling, bro. Easy. All I was gonna win was 37. I lost it all. I lost it all. By the time I looked at it, I was like, oh damn. Cyber's like, you should have just cashed out. Should have.
Yeah, hindsight 2020 when it comes to betting, man. I don't know. You are by next week we'll have some stats. I'll have some stats for you. And I want you to tell me which quarterback it is, okay? I'm just gonna bring some stats to your
It's going to be
attention.
very obvious. It's either going to be Kirk Cousins or it's going to be Brock Purdy.
Nope,
I'm gonna
We're
be
in
both.
a segment.
I'm gonna bring some stats to your attention because as our resident quarterback, I think we have a great mix here because we have you as the resident quarterback hater, we have Justin as the kind of mediator, and then we have me as the resident quarterback lover. I think I like most quarterbacks in the NFL.
Except Lamar Jackson.
I like most quarterbacks too.
You do not. That is a blasphemy statement that you just said.
Okay, then next week, let's go through the list of every starting quarterback in the league, and we'll say whether we like them or dislike
How about
them.
this?
And
How
bet
about you come
we
with a
won't be that
list
far
with the
off.
quarterbacks that you don't like, and we're gonna write a list of the quarterbacks we think you don't like.
Are we
And
only
we'll
talking
heard you
current?
slandered on the podcast? Yes, specifically in this because I'm looking at the list. I'm so sorry, brother. The list is kind of long already. I'm sorry.
Okay, so we're only
sorry.
talking current QBs though.
Yes,
They
I
have
can
to be
already think
playing
of one whole
today.
division that you've talked shit about, and that was basically all of the NFC South.
Yep.
You
The
like
NFC
Baker
South?
now, but you did not
Yeah, I
like
like Baker.
the NFC South, but you did not like Baker at one point.
Didn't.
When
You
did I
did.
like Baker?
When he was on the Browns and he was shitting the bed, and then he went to Carolina and shit the bed, and you were like, his career is done.
I specifically remember celebrating Baker Mayfield winning a playoff game for the Browns against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I specifically remember saying the Browns are dumb for getting rid of Baker. So yes, maybe I critiqued a few games, but overall, I have nothing but respect for Baker Mayfield.
We'll see next week.
Quarterbacks that you, I would say 49% or 51% dislike. Okay.
No way. No way.
I think that's a little high. I'll take the under on that.
No. I'm not saying 51% support. I'm saying when you're looking at these quarterbacks, do you 51% of like them or 51% dislike them, right? It doesn't have to be like an over resounding, like, oh, I really dislike this person, like Deshaun Watson. And if you notice, my quarterback hate stays in my division. Okay? Stays in my division. Does not go really outside of my division.
How about I do this? On my top of my list, I'll write a list of
fun fact
quarterbacks
alert.
that
Wait,
Alex.
Fun fact alert. Fun fact alert.
Sound the alarm.
We've never had this before. McJamm, take it away.
Fun fact alert, Deshaun Watson has more settled lawsuits, 23, than touchdown passes since being traded to the Browns, 19.
That is amazing.
And on that note, let's get into some college football. What do you say?
A beautiful fun fact for the end.
Crazy, Jay.
Part of this episode. We had a crazy whirlwind of a week in college football. Number 1, number 4, number 11, and number 13.
Number 10 and number 13.
Number 10 and number 13 all go down to unranked people. Start with the big one. Vandy, dude. Nick Saban.
Crazy.
It's so easy to play. It's not easy to play in the SEC unless it's in Vanderbilt. And then they go, I just wish I was still in Nashville to be able to go down to Broadway, to be able to fucking see. They walked it 3 miles.
That was wild.
Yeah. If you've ever been to Nashville, Vanderbilt is kind of far to walk to the fucking 6th and Broadway. It's kind of far.
Yeah.
It's not a very close.
It's not far when you're boozed up and you have more adrenaline than you know what to do with because they were hyped.
You haven't seen it already, go watch the night vision part of the helicopter view of them throwing the goalposts in the river. It's quite funny because if you've never seen it, when you go to Broadway, there's these steps that are probably half a person tall that you have to climb down to get to the Cumberland River. So it's them organizing people going to the next one to pull the goalposts all the way down to the Cumberland River. It was so funny. And Now it just lives in the Cumberland River. I don't know if they're ever going to take it out. But yeah,
I think they did get it out because they are chopping it up to sell pieces of it.
I'm weak.
what a good
Like, I see this as a business opportunity.
and
Yes, absolutely.
staying in Tennessee, Arkansas takes down number 4. What a
In Arkansas.
huh?
It was in Arkansas.
It was in our but they were they staying
They
in.
did take down. Oh, okay.
They took down Arkansas.
Yeah,
Tennessee,
they took
Yeah.
down Tennessee.
which was crazy. I've never like this has been one of the most wild years in college football. I don't know if every team's like there's 12 teams that make the playoffs, so we can lose. Like because it never felt like a team. Like I don't remember the last time a number 1 has lost to an unranked like team.
Oh, well, unranked.
A lot.
Yeah, that's hard to think about, but it's definitely happened quite a few times.
I'm saying like
This is definitely the first time Vandy has ever beat a number 1 team. This is the biggest win in their program's history.
good
This
for
is
him.
history.
That coach is going to get a statue. He beat Bama. And
What's funny is Kalen DeBoer
DeBoer.
was telling these guys all week this is a trap game. They came off that big win and showed up to the facility, and he had mouse traps not set up, but placed everywhere.
Yeah.
Just to remind him, like, we're heading into a trap game, and they fell for it anyway.
They fell for it hard. Now it's looking crazy in the SEC. We'll stay in the SEC real quick before we jump to the next ones. It's super crazy now because Georgia has a loss, Alabama has a loss. What's it called? Tennessee has a loss. Texas, the only team that's kind of up there in the SEC that doesn't have a loss, but they still have to play Georgia and Oklahoma.
They got Oklahoma this weekend, which is it's a ranked rival. Like that's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, it's going to be a good
Well,
game.
like you also have Missouri, which was 4-1 now after their loss upset to
Mizzou's pretty good.
Uh-huh. And then there's one other team I thought lost. But like still all these 4-1 teams right now.
This is the first year in a while where it feels very even. There's not one dominant team that you're watching like, oh, they're going to run away with this thing. Texas looks very good. Ohio State looks very good, but no one's like crazy dominant.
Yeah. Like if Alabama would have won this game, which they 99.9% of this team. Thank you, McJamm. ASU.
Yes, ASU is also 4-1. They've got a goofy coach, but he's doing phenomenal for them.
Doing wonders with Scattaboo in the backfield. That guy, yeah. But still, and then Michigan. What happened?
I'm not
Chris doesn't care.
surprised. No, it's not that I don't care. It's that I knew this was going to happen this year. Like I even said, I think before or after the Alabama game, like we have to get it done this year because this team is not going to be the same next year. Like even if JJ McCarthy stayed, like we lost too many guys to be that same team as last year. So I knew this was going to be a slump year. I did think we could win this game. Like Washington also lost a lot of guys. So I was hoping that we'd go in there and get a win. They started off rough, then got it together, and then finished rough. So is what it is. Would have liked to get that game, but guess what? We beat Washington when it mattered, and that was to hoist the trophy.
I want to point out about that is I do remember a certain somebody who's a Big Ten fiend in this chat. Say, I can't wait to see Washington and Oregon come to Big Ten football. It's different over here.
It is different.
People are adding
First of all, I don't know what accent that is. I've never sounded like that before in my life. But it is different. If you look at Washington and Oregon games, the scores are not what they used to be. They used to be like, 55-49. Like they're not playing those types of games anymore. This is a much more physical, like running, like and they won.
Yeah, and they
Alex
beat Michigan.
Yeah, so take that little shit accent and shove it up your ass and get out of here.
I'm not happy about it as a Blue fan. Not happy about it.
No, to be honest with you, this is one of those years where we got to beat Michigan State, and obviously if we beat Ohio State, it's a success. Like to think about anything beyond that is stupid. This team's not at that caliber right now.
And then
We also used our third quarterback for this year. Jack Tuttle came in. I thought he played actually really well. I saw some fans were mad that Alex Orji got pulled, but I was actually very happy with Tuttle for most of that. I still am in the camp of let's throw in the 5-star freshman and just let them develop this year. Well, whatever. But if we can win those rivalry games, then this year is a massive success.
Why would you know as a fan? Why would I be right? But I do want to
I'm
talk.
not saying I am right.
USC did lose to Minnesota.
So
that was a
two last week.
Yeah.
I saw the score and they were up on them pretty good. I'm like, oh dang. And then next thing I know, I'm seeing Minnesota make their comeback.
I think that's
a great game.
That's the first true test of did USC join Big Ten?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. It's the first big, like, Minnesota's not like a super, super hard team, but they're always going to play you guys tough. They played you guys tough the week before, and then they went to USC and they arguably should have got the W against Michigan. Like, they were playing really, really good.
Who, Minnesota or USC?
Minnesota.
No, they let it get away from them too early.
Okay. Well, they had a close game with you guys.
It became close right at the end, but it really wasn't close.
I guess you're right. It was like 24-3 or something like that going into halftime, right?
Yeah, Michigan let them come back on them, but by the time they really made it close, there wasn't a lot of time left.
But they pulled off the upset this week. Good for them.
Oh yeah, no, that was probably PJ Fleck's best game there.
Yeah, and then I guess the big one. It's a ranked opponent, but number 6 Mizzou, number 9 Mizzou got taken down by Texas A&M, number 25.
Texas A&M is also, I think, only they've lost one game season. So like they're not bad either.
No, they're not. New coach.
I do want to show. The last thing I want to talk about college football, and then we can be done. Is do you think that dropping Alabama 6 spots was enough?
No. I don't. Not when we were in this 12-team playoff where you can afford to drop more. Like if it was to the 14 playoff, and obviously they don't want Alabama to drop too far because then it'd be hard to justify them later on. Then that's fine. But when it's still very easy to get into this 12-team playoff with 2 losses on your record, I think losing to Vandy justified a farther drop for them.
This is why I ask, because who did Michigan lose to?
They lost to Texas, and then they just lost to Washington.
Okay, cool. Because Mizzou, who's also 4-1, lost to a ranked opponent and dropped 12.
They dropped 12?
12.
That's why this is a little bit like, I understand Mizzou and Alabama are 2 different programs, and I do get that. But like, even keeping Michigan, I thought Alabama was going to drop to 10. I thought
A&M went to 15, and they jumped 10 spots, and Mizzou dropped 12.
It did.
Bama literally saved themselves because Bama is Bama. If it wasn't for
that's
being Bama, Mizzou got fucked in that one. I think that's crazy.
I guess Bama has the better win with that Georgia win. So maybe that's why they didn't drop as far, but I still think that's kind of weak. They should have dropped further.
I think
how bad did Michigan drop?
Michigan dropped
14.
14. They dropped it to 24.
Oh, okay, 14 spots. I was going to say they only dropped to number 14. That's crazy.
They are the only 2-loss team that's ranked.
Okay.
So that's something to go for. I do think that Tennessee also should have dropped more, but they didn't. They only dropped 4 spots. I think losing to Arkansas would have warned. Like, I think that an Ole Miss has a loss, but like, I'm shocked that, like, I understand Iowa State isn't playing the caliber people, but they're 5-0. They're looking pretty good too. Like, I'm shocked that they didn't crack at least 10 in the top 10.
I think they're just getting judged based on their schedule so far.
But it was interesting to see that Alabama only dropped 6 and Mizzou dropped 12.
That is crazy.
It was interesting to see. Boys, you got anything else for this day?
Can I do this closeout?
I'll do it, buddy.
At least I'll just start and you can take it over. So we just appreciate you guys, and thank you for listening to the Everybody Hates Chris podcast, brought to you by Alex and Justin. We appreciate you listening to also the 3 of me bros as we just introduced ourselves for this episode. But In all jokes serious, Chris, we really love you and we love fucking with you because when you get heated, it gives us more views, more likes, more everything. So our job is to push your buttons, and I think we were successful at that. And with everything, we have to look for a gold star brought to our by our fun fact machine, the McJamm. McJamm, brother. Who do you think this week deserves the gold star?
This gold star is going to the winner of the podcast and the jersey winner. We got Justin getting the gold star here.
Oh,
He held his own there. Was pretty respectful, humble winner, and yeah, gold star goes to Justin.
So
Thank
now we know that McJamm respects sportsmanship.
He
Yeah.
does. He does. So that's why our heart.
actually, dude, I want to give my gold star to McJamm because McJamm's helping me in one of my duties in this podcast. And dude, these reels that he be putting up are flame right now, straight fire. So McJamm, we're gonna share this gold star this week because I think what you're doing right now is phenomenal, phenomenal.
I think the fun fact also warranted a gold star.
110%.
Yeah,
So we're actually in agreement. I think we're giving it back to
I
you.
think McJamm earns the gold star this week. This was a phenomenal week by McJamm. And if you want to see what he's been cooking up in the labs, what he's been doing with the beats behind the machine, you can go check us out on all socials at the 3 Amigos podcast. You can go ahead and smash that like button, smash that subscribe, follow button. And if you really want to have some fun, please, with all my heart, talk trash about anything to do with Chris in the comments. He will fire back like there's no tomorrow. So please, 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 if you want to start engaging in some hate, join us. And until next time, boys, peace out.